Hello, everyone. Today we are going to be looking at a game called 868 Back. So, eagle-eyed among you, or those who are tune in regularly for my live streams here, will know that we actually tried to play this game a couple weeks ago, the demo for it at least, as part of a feature that I was going to highlight when a developer has such an identity with their games that they end up creating their own genre. And the stream I wanted to do ended up getting caught up due to technical issues. But after I canceled the stream and moved on, I decided to delay just a little bit longer because 868 Back was about to release anyway. And then, so with that dealt with, I can return to what I wanted to originally state with that stream, which is some game designers have a particular type of game that they create and end up creating a genre in of itself based on the conventions of the games that they have a tendency to create. And so Michael Bro is one example of this as the inventor of the Bro-like. Brogue-like? In any case, pictured here is, let's see, Cinco Paus, I believe. And I believe that translates to 5 clubs, or 5 sticks. And is a game about using magical wands that are unidentified, and by triggering the effects of them, figuring out what they are, what they do, and how to survive using them. And then, but that's not the game we'll be playing today. Today, thanks to a very graciously provided key from Finji, thank you so much. Bro-like is the standard pronunciation? Yeah, I looked it up and it's Michael Bro, so. And here's a screenshot of the game we'll be getting into. And so, well, the art style is very obviously different here. There are a couple of things that shared concepts between these two games at the very least, which is a grid focus, the entire game being on one screen, and like without any sort of scrolling camera view. And while you can't see it when it's not in motion, obligated movement. You take a turn, the enemy takes a turn, you cannot skip a turn. Looks very easy and simple to understand. This game has unbelievable amounts of, what's the word for this? I could just throw out the word depth and be done with it. And you know what? I think that's what I'll do. Has an unbelievable level of depth and intricacies. That's the word. Level of bizarre intricacies that you can puzzle out over time. And it is my goal here to show you at least one kind of decent run of this game, because goodness gracious, this game's hard. When you start out, you are probably going to fail to hack the first server probably dozens of times. Strategic complexity and overlapping mechanics that interact with each other interestingly. But with all that out of the way, thank you, Finji, for providing me with a free key for this game. And let's take a look. Since I was running a little bit late, it'll take me a second just to get this capturing correctly. But yes, my goal is that you will be able to understand what is happening on that screenshot in a broad sense by the time we are done here. And also that I get a few good runs in. Okay, there's our game screen. Resize it. Okay. We should have a good view, and you'll be greeted with this kind of menu when you first start up the game. And, as always, say it with me, folks.
Take this love.
GC The Gray Area gifted 5 subscriptions to the community.
Thank you. Games are made by people. So, Agent, message from an old enemy. Still running? Hacker, you were right. We can't work with the corpse. They'll never change.
Tality Havoc gifted 10 subscriptions to the community.
Thank you. I am trying to read. Oh, what a beautiful problem to have. Thank you. You're right. We can't work with the corpse. They'll never change. It's us or them. We have to fight back. Megatron's planning something big. I saw too much. I barely got out. The other corps are moving in too. It'll get messy. We need you back. Break in, slow them down, expose them, siphon any data you can, and hurry. We're running out of time. And then Kid is your tutorial. So you want to be a hacker. Script Kid's Guide to Running Servers Without Getting in Trouble with the Corpse. Hey, welcome to cyberspace. They call me the Kid. Yeah, I'm that kid. You're here because, don't try to deny it, you've been thinking of hacking something. You're in the right place. Welcome to the network map. Don't worry, you're not online yet. We're in a sandbox. First, let's access the server up there. So we go in. Lesson 1, click. Arrow keys to move. Move toward a task to click it. This is a task. Clicking in this game's vernacular is that beam that I'm shooting. Click twice on a task to end it. Note that they do not mean actually clicking with your mouse. End all tasks before they end you. But yes, if I press the directional button toward a task, instead of moving, I will take a beam shot at them. Mouse over a task to check it out. Glitch. Error. Movement protocol bypassed. Daemon. Sturdy software protector requires 3 clicks to end. Back up a little. Choke points help to organize task flow. We call this the waterfall model. This is maybe the most important first tip of the game. You will be doing this particular tactic all of the time. Pause a roadblock. Enter the port to continue. When you hack a server, you'll link to other servers nearby. Let's explore. Lesson 2, Progs. Progs live to the right of the screen. Mouse over to take a squiz. Tap their button or number to run them. Crash. Near user, end tasks and transmission. Also voids cubes. So, let's press 1. And as it said, it voided all the wall cubes around us. Run progs to organize tasks. Push. Increment task distance. So already you may be noticing something that's kind of an interesting interaction here. We push these enemies and now they're overlapping. And when we shoot them, we hit every single overlapping enemy at the same time. Definitely something that could be exploited for later. Frogs don't run for free. Check the floor for stray creds or volts. To grab volts or creds, you need a siphon. Snatch one from a corner. You siphon in a plus shape, and you grab whatever units happen to be on the floor. Volts are the blue ones, creds are the yellow ones. Take every chance to stock up. And then, conveniently, if you look in the upper right there, it says Data Siphon plus 4 cred plus 4 volt. That accounts for where you're standing. So you can kind of wiggle around a little bit to get a quick look without needing to manually count everything on the floor.
Tality Habit just cheered 1,000 bits.
Thank you. Great, now you can afford another crash. We have 10 credits, and crash costs 6. Destroyed the wall. Mouse over cubes to peek inside. Wait, escape to an adjacent or linked server. Did you know that siphons also install new procs? Try that cube over there. You remember that big red 7? That's the alert string. 7 new tasks have been transmitted. The push also pushes things through walls. Also seems like that could be useful to keep in mind. Cryptog, hidden process. Only displayed with precise alignment. Can't reach the port, there's another way out. All this hacking, what's the point? Just getting in and out is nice, but... data. You've siphoned volts, creds, you've even siphoned progs. That's real hacking. Stick to that for a start. But one day you're going to want to siphon some data. Same as with progs, stealing data alerts tasks. That's the red number. Red alert. Be ready. So, 3 glittering data, the pink number, and 3 alert, and then 9 glittering data, 9 alert. 1 alert per data. And so it's a question of how much risk do you want to take. Set yourself up right before you try any bigger cubes.
Solanum Stars just cheered 100 bits.
Thank you, Sol. Don't get clicked. You can do this. Blame. And next task here. Sort of like a landmine. Well done. Always remember, you don't have to. You can just walk on by. You've learned a lot. Feel free to pause, integrate, run some servers, pop back when you want to go deeper. Dev. Devices plug in to change the rules. I've set you up with a couple. Pick one. Block damage from and counterattack 1 virus hit. Or 1 extra damage when you are 3 blocks away. Let's go with the extra damage. You're a fighter. Range amps your clicks as long as you keep your distance. Give it a try. Every port gives you 1 chance to connect to dev. Connect your other dev now. So as you progress through the different sectors of a particular server, each time you'll be able to connect 1 more device. Keep it safe. Vaccine will auto-trigger next time a virus bites. Gives you an edge. I bet that virus regrets hassling you. Now dive into that port and I'll show you how your devs can scale up. You notice vaccine is boostable. That means you can run it hot. Select it again. Each sector, 2 viri will be counterpunched. Boosted vaccine will fry these viruses. Let a couple hit you, zap the rest. Now it's time for the low end, the foundation of every hacker's rig. The base. Boost, restore all joy, always connected. From your home cyberpunk sound system. Bass heals the soul. Or base. Base heals the soul, base restores joy, base keeps you moving, base is always connected. Just boost it. As you can see, we have the prog boost over here. Boost all connected, boostable devs. 2 things are boostable, base and vaccine. We're in a dangerous spot. Boost. Boost. Okay, one more. I'll show you just how tricky devs can get. This one's a pop banger. Corptech faked back at them. Price even on the blackest market. Check it right out. As you can see, these ones are rated as mundane on the left side. This one is rated as mighty. Glitch. Move through cubes. Just cruise on through to the port. Nothing stopping you. That's dev magic. You know, they call me the script kid. What is script really? Time to find out. A script is basically a stored prog. Save it for when you need it. How do you get script? There's a few different ways. Easiest is just to bind it. Avoid adjacent prog cube to gain script. So, we hop onto it, and instead of alerting it and siphoning it, we directly destroy the cube and load the item into script as opposed to one of our reusable progs. Your script stack squats in the lower left. Let's see what that crash can do. Get in position to pat 9. Scripts can be used for free, but they always need to be used in order from top to bottom. You can only use the topmost script. That's why I call it a stack. You want to swap past that wall? Better dig into the stack. Reap. And nearest daemons clicking nearby. Flame. And next task here, landmine. And swap. That's script. How else do you gain script? What else is good for? Hey now, being a hacker means that you figure it out. Finally, important information about dangers will meet in the wild net. Take care. One day you might run into a gnarly looking server like this. Or this. Or even this. These are Megacorp servers. Don't try to hack them. Look, I know we hate the corps. Believe me, I hate them more than you. Just take my word for it. Just stay away. You try to fight them, they'll get you. Lethal stakes, net death, or IRL. Maybe you're protesting, you take a stun grenade at the torso and legally it's a non-lethal round, but in a crowd like that it kills. Or worst of all, they offer you a job. It's not a good job, but they make it impossible to refuse. Now you're one of them and you stop coming around. And it's me by myself trying to hold this whole thing together. That's why we don't try to hack the corpse. But don't get down. Just forget about that. You'll find friends out there too. We've put together an open source project that you can join us if you want. There's so much more to the net. go steal some data. That's it. You're a hacker now. Go forth and hack. That's just kids' recommendation. We don't have to listen to them. So, here is the start of a run. This is a bro-like, which means that's a roguelike. We have 2 servers we can hack to the start. We can log into Goodwell's 8-bit BBS, or we can log into Virtual Soft Slop. Each one gives us a dev, which is, again, a device that we can use and buff for every future server that we hack. A prog, which is going to be our starter weapon, so to speak, or starter skill, and 1 script, which is the emergency button that you can use for free. Dev, buzz, attack. When you attack, do an extra click if you've moved already. And an already clicked task orthogonally, and horizontally aligned tasks and transmissions. We're going to start off simple with just getting this one. In we go. Little diagram showing you what this item means. Connect it up, and finally, let's get going. So, hidden process only display with precise alignment. These are invisible, but you can see where they started from and how many steps they've taken. Usually you want them to come around corners for you. So it's moved once, which means that I know that it's on this tile if you can see my mouse at all. And so if I were to step forward, it would hit me. So instead I will step back. I continue to approach, take it out like that. Going to pick up Trojan. User replaces tasks or transmission by next move. This item is lit up because I have enough creds and volts to use it, and it is valid to use at this moment. There is a transmission that is 1 knight's move away from me. So, use it. And you may have noticed, time has not passed. Almost every one of these progs is a free action, in that no time passes when you use it. This means that they can be comboed together. This is absolutely vital for mastery of this game. Sprite, advanced security, augmented with hacker beam tech. So I've got 1 data siphon. Trojan requires more creds than it needs volts, so we're going to siphon from here in order to gain 6 more. And into sector 2 of 8. I can either boost base in order to restore my health, or I can boost coil in order to gain an extra volt per area. I will be gaining my health back in a different way, so I'm going to go with coil. Exit port. Enter to advance to next sector. Siphon to restore 1 joy. So by siphoning it, back to our happy self. And then immediately wasting it by fumbling. Dial. This is one of the easiest beginner-friendly usable skills in the game. User replaces random transmission, causes 3 volts. Let's Siphon, which is going to cause me to get both Blit and Dial as two different progs, and is also going to do 3+4 Alarm. So if we tried to deal with all these enemies just by using our normal abilities, we'd be screwed. Most likely, there is a distinct possibility that could be literally impossible without the use of our skills. You have these for a reason. Use them. And then shoot downward, which cancels the transmission. And just like that, we just took out 7 different enemies in a single turn. Dial again. I don't think I need to use Trojan here, because I can probably deal with 2 enemies. This is an easy beginner mistake. If I were to kill this daemon, the sprite would shoot at me. So I will pull back a bit. That way they are not aligned with each other like that. So this is interesting. We know that this thing has taken 3 moves. And so if it's traveling as fast as it can toward me, then it stands to logic that it would be down and to the left of this bind block. And we can actually confirm this because the script slash is available for us to use, and that attacks diagonally. So with that, we can confirm that Cryptog is right there. And so if I were to step downward, it would attack me. If I were to step to the right, it would attack me. So let's... If I make an invalid move, time doesn't pass. I am in a position where I'm obligated to take an action, and both actions I take will hurt me. But fortunately, there's a couple of different things I can do here. Could use the script slash, which would kill it. Or, using a data siphon does actually spend 1 turn. And so it gets 1 step closer to me. And, now that there's those portals available, Dial to both run away and deal with the new threats. And then Trojan twice in order to get those 2. We're pretty low on volts, so... Picked up a few from there, and we can use Reap in order to kill this daemon in 1 hit, which will also cause a small explosion on all adjacent, including diagonal tiles, that will deal 1 damage to all those. And that should kill this transmission. 2 for 1 deal. Boost the coil yet again. So each time we visit a new spot, like each time we go through one of these, we're gaining 4 volts every single time. Which goes very nicely with our dial ability, because each use of dial costs 3 volts. You may have noticed that we're not having any control over where we dial. If there's multiple options, the game will pick at random for you. There's no way to counteract this apart from reducing the number of possibilities that the randomizer can pick from. if there's a 50% chance that that using Trojan will move you a knight's move directly into the center of the fray that you can't escape from, don't do it. That's a 50% chance of death. 1 data. And a bit more health. Back to feeling fine. Glittering data and a splice. Translate row rightwards. If folks have questions, feel free to ask me. I know that this is a huge amount to digest in a very short time period, so... Do the blocks give more devices? Devices can only be gained by visiting a server for the first time. And so if I beat this area, which is all 8 sectors as listed in the upper right, then I will be able to visit a new server, and that will get me 1 more device. Once again, we are in the silly position. It's moved very close to me at some point. It's not orthogonal, so we can't see it. So it's somewhere not in one of the tiles that isn't aligned with the right wall or the bottom wall. But slash is available. So I happen to know that's right, exactly to the right of this 5 block. So once again, delay 1 turn, kill. As you get further into the sectors of a server, the enemies will start spawning in quicker. In the sense of fewer turns, not actually quicker, because you have as long as you want to wait. Yeah, blocks can give you progs, blocks cannot give you devices. And then as a reminder, progs are the skills that I'm using, such as Dial. Instantly click viruses. Not only does it click them, but because it doesn't consume a turn, this virus is actually stunned until the next action. See, now it's awake. Because the turn did not end after I used that item. Clicking things via a skill will also stun them, in other words. User replaces tasks and transmissions diagonally, huh? Yeah, that's right, we sliced directly through a wall. Ain't nothing in the rules behind that item that says you can't. A lot of bizarre little intricacies like that in this game. Okay, there's a couple of interesting things to note here. One, we have an exit port that's got the spirally pattern on it. That means last sector. If we exit through that, we hack the server and we win this server. Our first minor victory. If at any point we die during this, we lose everything here that we've gained thus far, except for the device. The device is the only thing we will keep. So, and also, Mysterious Brain Cube. Siphon this cube to liberate what lies within. Let's dial. Dial again. Dial again. Trojan. Blit in order to damage you and stun you for free. Shoot left. Six to scan virus. Attack up. Scan virus again. Attack up. And we're mostly safe. Cornered, so use Blit. Stuns him for a moment. Pick up these siphons. A bunch of volts. Now I'm going to use Splice here for a couple of very specific reasons. Translate the entire row rightwards. Now watch what this does. That brain cube was completely locked away from me siphoning it directly, but by using Splice, I pulled it out of the corner that it was stuck in. Claimed. Let's take a parting gift for ourselves as we leave, shall we? Do a dangerous hack for some glittering data. Take one step, take another. And that, my friends, is my very first hacked server here. One down, an entire network to go. Oh. Sometimes you just need to hard disconnect. Liberate 8 brain cubes, 1 out of 8. So, by completing this one, we've revealed everything adjacent, and so we can look at these and see what they have available to us. Vaccine, we know about that one. Our starting progress hash. Overlaps equivalent tasks to equivalent locations. So if there's 2 viri, it grabs one of the viri and puts it on top of the other one. So they're overlapping. Refresh. Makes every task have to warp in again through the teleporter. Essentially freezes everyone for 1 turn. Exercise. After you end a daemon, your attacks have an extra click for 1 turn. Boostable, so presumably you can make that extra click for 2 turns, 3 turns, 4 turns. Start with Reap. Gain Splice free script. Chord. Use 3 different progs or script in a single turn. Restore all joy. So, you may have noticed these have a 2x near them, and they also have an unknown bonus power-up. Note that these are not power-ups for me, these are power-ups for the server. Which is to say, a penalty for me. Glittering data is how you get score in this game. Just, you know, for actually getting a high score of any kind. But if you get 10 in an adjacent server, it also reveals you information. If we were to enter the server right now, we would be at the mercy of whatever this is. But if we were to hack this one and get at least one glittering data and succeed, then we'd know what this is before going in. So, let's pick this server, which doesn't have any of those weird penalties associated with it. Pardon me. Start with the vault. Build up resources fast as quickly as possible. Did a bunch of vaults. Then dial and ambush. Dial, shoot. Shoot. Cool, we got away with it. I would love to have that debug, but I can't justify it, and I'm out of siphons. Buzz. Oh, Buzz can activate via dialing. Outbound link. Siphon this cube to link a server 2 spaces away. Alert level 8. Very dangerous, especially this early on. I want that boost. Boost all connected boostable devs. And reminder, base is a boostable dev. So every time I use this, I will heal to full, and I will get 1 extra volt per area visited. I would not be surprised if this game contains at least 1 oblique reference to Freaking. Actually, I mean, it kind of does. We're dialing. Does that count? Although I suppose that's closer to being war dialing as opposed to Freaking. As an extracurricular activity for anyone watching who doesn't already know how this works, look at password on the left side. Keep an eye on it and notice how it changes. See if you can figure out the logic behind how password works. I will note that this will be significantly more difficult because you can't see the exact things I'm doing, but I happen to have figured out how password works fairly recently. War dialing. Phone spam, generally. It's close enough of a metaphor. Kind of a precursor to DDoSing. Distributed denial of service attacks. remotely calling in order for the explicit purpose of tying up phone lines, as opposed to, you know, calling in to ask about something or whatever. I might have the terminology a little bit off on the exact meaning of war dialing, but... So here's a good example of me using a good combo here. I dialed, and I was lucky enough to get in that cluster up there. Not the exact perfect position I want, but... From here, we can crash. That kills 2 of them. And because we have buzz and because we moved, we will do 2 damage here. Kill that in 1 shot. Ability Ambush. User moves and clicks from concealment. Once again, we don't have a choice on how this works, so let's hope that we go downward. We did. And because we moved, Buzz activated, and so we did 2 damage to both of those creatures. And another 2 damage. A fantastic combo. BTA Lady Havoc is the one you should trust on the concepts of war dialing and the history behind it. She is someone who would absolutely know, so I defer to her expertise. But yes, the answer is war dialing is calling random numbers to see which ones connect and might actually have something interesting on them. Cull, and quick task orthogonally. So, basically, kill anything that's damaged that's orthogonal to you. And as a prog, it is free action, which is why I didn't get shot there. I wonder how many kids just casually war dialed, like the manual way. As a dumb kid at a public pool one time, me and a friend went to a payphone and pressed the buttons on them without having put any money in, just to have it make those funny beep noises, and we would play tunes. And it would, you know, occasionally dial on something as we, you know, dial out the tune Hot Cross Buns. And then let's say, please insert money to make this call. Out there somewhere is someone who has a phone number that matches perfectly to the dial tone for the song Hot Cross Buns. And if these dumb kids put any money into the phone, we would have called them like 8 times. Please note that you should never ever do this with emergency line numbers, as payphones will allow those to go through for free. I happen to bear witness to a dumb kid doing that at one point. Dialed random, was having fun making tones on the phone, dialed the emergency line number, panicked when someone picked up, and then officer showed up as the kid was dying of embarrassment, and yeah, kid learned their lesson for sure, but goodness. Index is a great oh crap button and a complete set of tasks. If there are so many enemies on the screen that there is one of every single type at the same time, spend 3 creds and 2 volts to banish a full set of 5. Banish one of each type for a very low cost. Not damage, but completely kill. Select is kind of a weaker version of the same concept. If there's a huge number of enemies on screen, damage all of them once, but only if they're undamaged. I'm gonna take Splice again, though. Because I like it. Keep boosting those volts. Resources are everything. Poke is a fun one. Poke. End task or transmission opposite of you. Costs only 1 credit. Insta-kill something if it is exactly mirrored of your position. Like this virus happens to be right now. There's nothing preventing you from keeping your siphons for the next sector. Another brain cube. That was maybe the most perfect dial I could possibly ask for, because this is going to lead us to do 2 things here. Crash will kill 3 other dialing in, transmitting in tasks, and it will break this calm block, which will allow me direct access to the brain cube. So, Crash, dial, dial again, shoot. Brain liberated. Gotta say, I perform a lot better at this game when I'm slowly talking through it and trying to explain my logic as opposed to just, throwing moves out there. What happens when you download a prog when you already have all progs available? Or what happens if you download a prog that you already have? It adds it to script. That's the answer. Full attack. Dial, shoot. Good amount of supplies up here. Owie. Let's boost the base just to be safe. Dial. Crash. Shoot. You little butt. Make me spend an ambush to get you. Okay, let's see here. Gonna get fancy with it. Siphon up some volts. Okay, let me think carefully about this. With only 2 uses of splice, I don't think I can... Well, actually, if I siphon, I'll get 3 uses of splice total. Okay, I think I have a plan here. For a spicy exit. Drop 15 alert. Interrupt. You really better drop a 15 alert? When I caught ping at this heist, I knew you were back, but come on, you must be rusty. Take it slow. First, we heard from you in megaseconds, and you clock out on a cheese sauce X1? No way. Think about it. Yeah, I've thought about it. Siphon that. Then, splice. Splice. Exit. And that's how we do it. Oh, God. True Cryptdog.
To another place.
Very good, Conley. Thank you. Cryptdog. Remove visibility. AKA, Cryptdogs don't even reveal themselves when they're adjacent to you. You see, that's a penalty I would have had to deal with if I just went to that server without checking it. Ain't my first rodeo. Imbroglio. If you're standing on a cell where you've used Imbroglio, you do it at 1 extra damage. Boostable. Quantum Cryptdog. Cryptdogs are in superposition. Fun fact, I'm pretty sure... Oh, right. This isn't pronounced Imbroglio. Embroglio? I think it might be Imbroglio. But you know what? Imbroglio is fun to say, so I'm going to continue calling it Imbroglio. But I believe this is the title of another Bro-like. Another game from this developer. And I believe that's a representation of the main character. Or maybe the main enemy of the game. Two, 2. That's a weird looking crypto. Siphoning affects the password numbers. Incorrect, actually. You're close-ish. It's not siphoning, but it is a different action. You're mixing up your internet fraud. You're mixing up your internet fraud systems, Conley. You right-click the rare apes, not the blockchains. Well, okay, the rare apes are held on. Yep, held on the blockchain. Whatever. I guess that is right. I just associate blockchain more with cryptocurrency bullshit. I did not expect Trojan to put me over there. I was hoping it would make me take that corner one. Took my action a little too fast. More supplies. Yeah. Going a little too fast. Gotta slow down. It's so goofy that they're Trojans just because it moves you and knights move away like a horse. It's sort of a goofy silliness in this game that I like. Sometimes you just gotta use skills in order to see quite how they interact with each other, you know? Gravity. See how they're all overlapping? And overlapping tasks. Debug. With that combo of 2, we just killed every enemy that appeared. Y'all remember what Hash does? Collecting skills. You're closer. Not exactly perfectly right, but closer. You're very, very close. Hash makes 2 identical tasks overlap with each other, and debug makes things that overlap, tasks that are overlapping with anything, to destroy. Hash, 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 debug is a way to kill like 7 enemies in a row. Real quick like. Boost in order to put a Imbrolo Ella there. Imbroglio, whatever. Gravity. Debug. Like hell, I'd blame you for siphoning the tasty music. If you're siphoning music, that means you believe in the creeds of this game entirely. Out of retirement hacker here would be proud. Let's do something stupid. Boom. Comboed them all to death. Even I can hear that one. Loud bird today. I would love to liberate that brain cube, but I think I literally don't have a method for doing so this time. There's no way for me to get adjacent to it, and I have no skills or progs that would help me. Sorry, brain cube. Row costs primarily creds, and I have very little. Dial. Trying to get items that will help me with my excess of volts. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to boost, and that is going to spawn one of these directly below me. And so now I'm doing 2 damage. Goodness. Boost. Shoot. In theory, you could wait for a glitch to move next to the brain cube and Trojan it. That is... Damn, yeah. Very clever. That, I think, is an example of one of the things that I find really beautiful about this game. If you think there isn't a way to do something, there probably is some incredibly tricky way that you can. Siphon a bunch of creds as insurance. Final district. gravity. Debug. And the enemies are gone! Didn't actually mean to press the boost button there, but whatever. See ya, nerds. Hmm. Let's go here this time. Bonus power-up. Vibe progging. Accessible AI prog 1-button input model. What does that mean? You'll find out. You will find out. Type in a bunch of data. Vaccine. Once per sector, riposte a virus attack. Let's use hash. Hey, that's lucky that worked. Void all siphoned or voided cells. You know how I mentioned that the Trojan will take any valid move, and that the only way to control which valid move it does is to restrict the number of valid moves it has? Vibe progging applies that to every single prog that you have. All you can do is say, I want to use a prog, and then the game picks at random out of the possibilities. It is currently possible to hash, or it is currently possible to read. If I hit any of the prog buttons, it will pick one. I don't get to choose which. Does that sound like a pain in the ass? It is. a good counteraction against getting stuck with Vibe Prog is choosing your progs carefully so that they are either highly conditional or highly non-conditional, and having a bunch of spare creds and volts. That way, if it picks the wrong one, like so, you can hit the button again, and maybe it'll work correctly this time. For that reason, I don't really want to get push or gravity, but scan might be helpful. Low-cost items are also beneficial for this reason. Although it is maybe looking like it doesn't... Vibe progging doesn't like to repeat the same action. I don't know if that's luck or if that's an actual mechanic. That may just be luck. Dial is the only item that's possible to use right now, so I can safely spam it. Hey, Trinity. We're hacking the plant, and this is my very first run, and I'm still going. I have yet to die once. One issue I have, because I'm stupid, is that when Vibe Progging is active, I for some reason think that the spacebar is the button to use a prog, since the number keys are all... since it picks a number key for using a program at random. This makes no sense, however, and it's because I'm an idiot. And so instead I accidentally siphon the ground. I almost just pressed spacebar again. That time I pressed spacebar intentionally. Let's get at least something while we're here. It's easy to forget that glittering data is the actual purpose of this game, you know? It's what you're trying to do. Server hacked. What's this? Each megacorp has 4 servers all connected. Hack them all to expose the corp. Hacker, thanks for joining us again. Let's hack the corps. Even just 1 server of each will create the opening we need. Hypno skill. Tasks can be siphoned in order to hypnotize them. Generated websites. Ensnare customers with attention-grabbing network. Two bonus power-ups. Generated websites, as mentioned, and cryptocurrency. Credits are conveniently encoded for investment. Credits work as they do standardly, in a standard way, but they are invisible until they are siphoned. You cannot tell where the credits are. You can shoot while snared in a website, but you cannot move while, or it takes 1 move in order to free yourself of it. Grayed out numbers. Kipper's theorizing that grayed out numbers are incorrect digits. That is correct. They are. Use dial via script and shoot. So this is a fun tactic. That Daemon will take 3 clicks. If we force it to refresh, it ends up in the portal again. And that only takes 1. Gonna buy a base boost. Heal myself. Hope I don't regret this. Here's another very fun tactic. See how those creature I made all the daemons overlap? If I refresh now, portals are not allowed to overlap, so it turns into one. Unfortunately, past the 1 hour mark, I do not have control over commercials without actually fully interrupting the stream to run 3 minutes of scheduled commercials. So what I usually do is I run a commercial at the very start, prior to the stream starting, which gives everyone an hour of free viewing. That's the best I can do without interrupting the stream in any way. Oh my god, I can't tell how many credits I have either. I thought I just had one, but no, I have an unknown amount. Yeah, sorry. I do what is within my power, but... alas. That was dumb. If you want ad-free viewing, though, for as long as the option remains available to me, every single VOD will be archived onto YouTube free of charge with no advertisements. I believe I should be able to do that forever, but I hesitate to make such statements. Nonetheless, I believe by saying that I make my intent clear at the very least. It's this little thing called Mithridacy. Ash, refresh. That eliminates 2 of them. Peek. Pause a random Cryptdog. Not only did I pause it, but it also revealed where it is. Come on. Stop hanging out directly diagonally of me, you dirtbag. I said stop it! This is a scary entry. Time to use our scripts. Very glad I had pre-vaccine there. Saved my ass. Final sector. Dial. Okay. Yes! That's exactly what I wanted. Siphon an extra 9 and get out. Kippers has fully solved the password system. Skill 5. The first digits we know are 533, which means use skill 5 for the first digit, skill 3, or rather prog. Prog 5, prog 3, prog 3, and then input another prog number in order to see if that's the next number of the password. What happens when you fill out the entire password? I have no idea. Don't tell me. I've never managed it. 5 hacks, 5 days, flawless record. It's the weekend. Holding the electric blue rose to your chest, your heart feels like it could take a few more volts. Plus 1 life. With the right tools, they can dismantle the device, transforming it into something greater. By the way, does this art style look a little familiar? In a previous Monday grab bag, we have highlighted a game called Ruin, Chapter 0. Cease disturbing basilisk. Can't believe you've broken a basilisk. Few corpse to go. Carefully, ground power by the week. AJ Gonzalez. That is the artist behind the game Ruiner that we highlighted in a previous Monday grab bag, along with several other smaller works posted on their itch page. But this, I recognize this art style anywhere. Let's find out what the corps are cooking up. Link at Megacorp Central. Gaivoda. With wings of wind and heart of sea, I embrace the city seeking open ports. For 2 script, I will link your chosen server. Let's give him quit and peek. High above the noise, the hacker seeks peace. Gain 3 script. Calm, refresh, and boost. So as you can see, these are all mundane quality, but this one is moderate quality. I can turn this into a random mighty quality device. With my 2 actions planned, we enjoy the weekend. What server do we reveal? Our friend the Gull will show the way. That might be that's not quite the Basilisk Central server, but it's close. In addition, we also revealed the who is this? Unified. Unified's pension server. Here's an example of a mighty. Collect siphon and 4 tasks. Boostable. Here's another example of a mighty. Rays can shoot through cubes. 3 penalties of some kind in this server. Let's hack this independent server, Complex Supplies. We replaced Imbroglio with pause, repause tasks. Instead of freezing them for 1 turn, shots freeze them for 2. Index is an emergency button. Foolish. Also foolish. I'm... Okay. Don't want to use boost, but I really can't afford not to. For ourselves a dial. Get a little spicy with it. Dial. Dial. Shoot. 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 With the repause ability, I can keep enemies that are approaching from 2 different angles stationary at the same time. Maybe over expenditure of resources there, but it's always better than under expenditure. So when I started the stream, my goal was to reach a single Megacorp server. Not even necessarily to hack it, just to reach it and show how it has unique penalty effects. The fact that I managed to do that today on my very first try brings me some satisfaction. Best to ever do it, baby. So I've previously streamed Touhou games, and there's a little bit of a parallel between this and Touhou in that Touhou Project bullet hell shooters, that using your progs is kind of like using bombs, because they're a resource that is... Lives are incredibly valuable in this game, and progs are a lot cheaper to use. And even if you overuse one in a time when you don't need to, if it theoretically saved your life, then it was worth it. Likewise, that's why user chatter Daedalus1134 can't get past the very first server in this game because he refuses to use progs, just like how he refuses to use bombs in Touhou Project. Got him! Are you watching, Daedalus? I hope you're learning. God, it's so powerful to be able to do that. Just left, down, left, down. Polymorph. You can't control what the enemies polymorph into, but they always change. And I knew that if that enemy stayed as a virus, that was an unavoidable hit. So I just said, I want that to be literally anything else. And then I made it so. I mean, it's probably polymorph. But sure, polyamory. Sometimes you spend enough time around glitches or daemons that you become a daemon or glitch yourself. I don't know. Does this metaphor work? Probably not. Heh. Get vaccinated, idiot.
Take this love.
Tality Havoc gifted 5 subscriptions to the community.
Thank you as always, Lady Havoc. And once again, this job really makes you say weird stuff, doesn't it? Such as, haha, get vaccinated, idiot. This is also my advice for all the chatters in chat. I think we can liberate this brain. None of our progs are useful for it, but we have a crash here, and we have maxed out progs, so if we harvest this crash, it will be put into the top of the script stack. And then that means we can use it for free.
Don't wanna let go.
Thank you, Jeff the Killer 974, for following.
Hey, thanks for following. And then after we have it in the script stack, we can use it in order to break a hole over to the brain. That'll require 2 siphons, and we have exactly 2. So yeah, that should work. Crash. Trojan. Dial. Shoot. Yeah, gotta get those programming socks on. Let's see. Ah. Whatever. Hmm. Gravity. Debug as a script. Polymorph. Shoot. Shoot. Creep. Siphon. That didn't change anything. That was sketch as hell, but we got there. One, two, three. It's directly diagonal of me, damn it. Siphon fork and bail. New message. I knew you'd come back, but listen. Forget the corpse. We've lost too many good people there. Explore an N by N square. 3 out of 6.
Another place.
You'll find an extra siphon for each adjacent hack server. Oh! Is that why? I've noticed occasionally me gain 3 siphons, but I had no idea the reason. Combat nobility. Take an extra move when clicking. While you shoot, you go forward. Cannot boost the base. Some sort of penalty for the rest of the game after I hack the server if I do. Remember the combat mobility. Remember the combat mobility. I will live or die by if I remember that I have combat mobility on this server. For example, if I were to hit up right now, I would get into the way of that bullet. Fork. Goodbye, forked self.
Welcome to Unified Megacorp.
So that didn't work quite how I thought it would. Gotta use clear. Clear is unique and that actually costs glittering data to use. But you know what it does? Well... Yep, gotta. And remember, corporate approved soundtrack, we can't boost the bass. The only way we can recover health is by siphoning the exit port. You son of a... Splice.
Unified Megacorp embraces paying customers of all ethnicities and creeds. You are welcome here.
You desperately need a movement attack option. Ash and Debug is always a great combo.
At Unified Megacorp, the customer's convenience is our utmost priority. The more we control, the sweeter your experience.
Forgot about combat mobility. Vaccine. Blocking it as hard as I can.
Unified Megacorp, we know what's good for you. Unified oxygen. You can breathe it.
We're remembering combat mobility. Oh. 6 sectors in, we are finally back to full health. This place is a razor's edge. Didn't want to spend that here, but needs must. I'm not allowed to ambush. Why is that? By concealment, do they mean from everything? I can't be orthogonally seen by anything? Weird. Final room.
Unified protein. At least it's vegan. to Unified Services if your subscription expires. Make sure to pay promptly.
I've never seen this. Hacker, nice try, but we're moving to a subscription-based model.
Server hacked.
I clicked on one of the other cards and it said it made a countdown. That was terrifying, so I immediately clicked on gold tier pricing. I have no idea what would happen if that timer ran out. Valued customer, please avoid the demarcated staff-only areas. Impressive work getting into Unified. Just one corp to go. We'll have a burrito later. It says at least 4 script required, so maybe it would be better to have more than just 4. We don't know what the penalty is for this server, but seriously, could it be any worse than what we just did? Frog cubes are secure. Don't know what's in these cubes until we hack it. Great. Fantastic. Beautiful. Love it. Let's hope I don't drop a 9 alert right off the bat. Trojan as a starter. That is pretty much ideal. Yeah. Started out 8 creds in debt. Basilisk named after the thought experiment. Almost certainly. I would honestly be surprised if it isn't. God, it's scary siphoning a prog when you don't know what's in it. X, a rotated data siphon. Rocco's Basilisk is just Pascal's wager for the obnoxious tech bro. Trojan makes you move like a chess knight. Yes, it does. Attack something 1 knight's move away. It is pretty funny. Let's do an X siphon. Pretty happy with the random progs that we've gotten so far. Continuing to be pretty happy with them. I could have used refresh or debug to achieve the same thing, but I have more volts than I have creds. Save from the exit for health. Sometimes you just gotta remember that your purpose here is to gain glittering data. My brain is still a little bit caught on combat mobility. I spent so long being so careful about combat mobility that I'm now just in combat mobility paranoia mode. Let's do something stupid. Thankfully that was a cull and not something hotter. That gets us access to the brain cube, but in a very, very dangerous way. Who knows how much alert that's going to cause. Some things are more important, though. A 3 and a 3, and one of them's dial. Oh my god. That is so lucky. Careful. Desperately need volts. Out of curiosity, how difficult does this game seem to you? Significantly. Ambush is available, so that implies that it is diagonal to me. Right there. I think I'll just data siphon. Pull it one spot closer.
Ah.
Righto. Sometimes the numbers of your progs don't matter. Sometimes they do. One more megacorp to go. If I succeed in hacking this one, I will have hacked each megacorp once. That will be my first time ever doing that. Welcome to my favorite megacorp fight. Mega AI. Achieve your goals with Megatron's productivity tools. You see this line here? Oh, by the way, eager glitches. If we ever step off this line, we take damage. The productivity tools guide us to our next destination. How helpful. Boost is my top script right now, and that's going to be really helpful because I can use Boost in order to cure myself. Good God, eager glitches while on the line, while being stuck to the line is nightmarish. What a horrible, horrible combo. Refresh may help me. Debug. Refresh, kill. Ah! By using pull on the daemon, I procced exercised, which allowed me to one-shot the glitch before it could counterattack. And once again. That boost can save my ass. I almost pressed ambush. If I had ambushed, there's the possibility I would have ambushed downward, taking me off the line and damaging me. Instead, I'll splice. Interesting. Stepping off the line damages you, but if you're already off the line, I'll have to investigate that more. It's very scary to experiment with the sort of stuff when you're dealing with the possibility of taking damage each turn. Again, you only have 3 health in this game. It is quite terrifying. This is not a safe environment to frick around in. Oh yeah, Kippers. There's the store page. Refresh, kill. Okay, I'm gonna try something here. Off the line. Siphon. Fascinating. It's the act of stepping off the line that hurts you, not being off the line that hurts you. Ah, I've got an incoming warning from Zoe Blackheart.
We're together.
Riverside Wings just rated with 8 viewers.
Hey, Riverside Wings. Folks, we are playing 868 back. This game is maybe too complicated to explain to someone who's joining in late into it. I have managed... Well, let's put it plainly. I think this may be my best run ever at this game.
Tality Havoc gifted 10 subscriptions to the community.
And all of you that just joined, enjoy your free gift subs, I guess. Thank you, Havoc. But suffice to say, this game's really difficult. This game's really fascinating. I love it a lot, and enjoy the pretty colors. Maybe some folks, viewers, can help explain what's happening. God, now that I know that, I'm allowed to step off the line by cheating my way off it. That really changes things for this area. Back on the line. Oh, shoot. Three. Of all the Megacorp servers, the music theme for this one is definitely my favorite. Also, just the gimmick is really creative. The productivity line that you're forced to stay on or take damage. And that's before I knew that's possible to cheat it. I thought you just had to deal with the nightmare of not being able to control where you go. Speaking of. Bride Brick. Or Bride Brick? That says Bride. So here's an interesting tactic. You know what Splice does? It grabs all the tiles and sends them one to the right. So what's that going to do in this exact position? It will wrap me across the screen to the left, put me right next to the exit. Oh, right. It's a Bride Brick. But for some reason it has a B there. Bride. Anyway. Splice. Happy Pride, everyone. Megatron Megacorp is tracking your signal. Danger level 1. Working by yourself, it's hard to stay motivated. Corporate life improves your productivity. Target metrics. Always exceed previous service data, or else. I don't think I can accept that. I have to pick something else. Chronic fatigue. -4 volts for 1 day. Unlinked to random server. Please allow me to... Is there any way to pick anything else? Forfeit 1 life. What's happening? Great job, we're fighting back. Looks like they all have plans for the mainframe. Because we happened to hack it last, we didn't actually get to see it, but Hacker here has a fork taken of him by Megatron. And so the fork of him is still working at Megatron. Old friend, we meet again. Glad to see you're still on the losing side. We set up an open source mapping project. If you want to contribute, link up the biggest square you can. Anyways, what the hell is happening here? Agent. Working all those years for one corp or another, I have my regrets, but I did manage to siphon a few creds away. Let's turn their wealth against them. Gain 20 credits for one day. Agent knows how to cut out the safety protocols. After all, he wrote them. Perma boost exercise. Oh, I can't sell the pokes. Hello, something from Megatron's military contracts. Okay, I can only select one. Arma boost, exercise, and open one new server. Magnet spends resources from a user's cell. Without needing to siphon, I can use the credits that are buried on the floor. Okay. What next? Isolated workstation. 8 concentration by blocking adjacent links and devs. Low frame rate. Improve bandwidth by skipping unnecessary frames. Quantum Cryptog. Piercing shots. Once again, low frame rate is one of those penalties that doesn't make much sense. Right up until it makes too much sense, and you realize what a horrible, horrible penalty it is. Braid just blundered that input. Nothing else to it. Just straight up press the wrong button. The first loss on our record. End of week 2. From underground, there just might be another chance to gain access. Psst, want to hear a secret? Learn a digit of the password. Want to turbocharge your devs? More boosted than boost. Forbidden software from the net was wild and free. Spectacular macro plot is that one. Vertex workspace, which one's that? Oh, the one that I just failed at. I think I'm just gonna dance. Cyborg Vitality. Every day gain 6 volts. Folks, I think it's time to die with honor. A monolithic server looms before you, ancient, encrusted with roots and vines. Dare you enter? The mainframe. Pop-up advertisement. Legal options for further payment plans. Super Melee Sprite. Sprite. Remove range click. Through Cryptog. Cryptog. Remove visibility. Advanced 3D graphics. Experience realistic hacking in an immersive world. Cryptocurrency. Credits conveniently coded for investment. Polymorphine laser. Attack. Randomized unclick task. Combat mobility. Take an extra move when clicking. Quantum Cryptog. Cryptog superposition. Root. Disable a bonus power-up.
I don't wanna let go.
Thank you, Shock Trooper 262, for following.
Well, I know which power-up that I'm removing. I do not want this game to be a dungeon crawler. Combat mobility. Bootleg Burrito Blues. New album out now. Stop trying to make me click. Once upon a time there was a hacker, Basilisk, Fractal Blues, and many more classics. Okay. I'm scared, you know that? I'm genuinely scared. Maximum dopamine, minimum effort, unified entertainment service. Stay plugged in for bonus reward points. Unlink random server. I am afraid.
Oops. 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 Oops.
Struggling with vibe progging? Throw more resources at it. I am not losing boost. I just got that. I have to survive this. Boost. Debug. Time to die.
Disconnected.
Out of lives, game over. Died in the mainframe. Four brain cubes liberated. Hacked every megacorp. Made a 4x4 grid of exploration. Survived to week 3. You can unlock cosmetics for reaching various milestones and achieving various things. For example, for hacking all 3 of those megacorps, I got this. As always, games are made by people. A Michael Bro game published by Finji. Heck of a run. .385, my best score. Right, so as you can see, Out of all my time playing, there's still plenty of things I've never found. Oh. Thanks for tuning in. And goodness gracious, I could not be happier with how that turned out. I was hoping to at least visit, not succeed in hacking one Megacorp server. Instead, I succeeded in hacking all 3 of them and got to visit the mainframe for the first time. Unreal. As for what the password does, I don't know. It's something you have to make a concentrated effort to work toward. And so it makes an interesting side activity of explicitly using your progs in a wasteful way to try and decode the password. Let's raid on over to somebody, shall we? And as always, thank you very much, Finji, for offering me a free key of this game. And wow, this game is really something special. Let's see, who shall we raid to? Ha-ba-ba. Aliula Caster is playing Bubsy 4D. The modern Bubsy game made by an actual professional 3D platformer dev. Bubsy 4D is also a spin-off game in the same engine as that platformer dev's other work, which is called Demon Tides. Bubsy 4D is a level-based platformer, like a sort of directed experience, while Demon Tides is a very open-world platformer thing that's sort of a midpoint between Tears of the structure-wise, a midpoint between Tears of the Kingdom and in the environment of a vast ocean in the way of Wind Waker. In any case, though, that's all for tonight. Until next time, friends. I also managed to make Bubsy hot, good grief. You're not wrong. To another place, my friends.